Welcome to the Tyranny game, and this is a classic RPG adventure by no other than the kings of RPGs on the PC, Obsidian, and oh my goodness, this is definitely one I highly recommend. And it's probably the most intelligent, highbrow, and I would say so serious compared to other ones, in fact. Now let me jump into a high level character just to show you how the characters work, and then I'll show you some gameplay after that. But before that, when you start a new game, it gives you like choices that you can be doing, and it puts you in the thrust of being in the middle of this political game where the world is being conquered almost by the oppressional Nazi party in the game that you are part of. And you can go against the grain here and try to work against that Nazi party and create a resistance uprising, which is what I did in the game, and it was so satisfying to do. But if you want to go anti-hero here and stay with the party, you can do that, but it didn't really appeal to me in the setting. Just to show you, there is a couple of different playthroughs of it and all that stuff. So let me load in and show you what I really like and what I think it brings to the RPG system that other games could learn from. So let's jump into my late character and tell you all about that. Now the game is a 4-party game, 4 characters, and you're going to be wanting to get a healer. Your healer will probably be Lantry when you play the game, and you can pick up other ones to complement your build, because I always go with Lipstickpaddy, who is my mage in all my RPGs. So let's have a look at her. She's concentrating in lightning and fire spells across the deck. But let's go into her, how it actually works. Now, you're actually crafting your own spells here. You have a core that you're going to put in. Lightning, fire, frost, illusion, life, force, atrophy, vigor, and emotions. So let's say I want to create a frost spell. Then I put in what these could be. So that's going to be on touch spell. That's going to be range spell. This is going to be a cone attack. This is going to alter a weapon, so I could enchant a weapon for frost, and this is a unique kind of spell too. It's like I'll make this one just to show you a path of frost, so it's just like a linear thing. If you do this with fire, it's a line of fire. If you do this with electricity, it's a slow electricity ball that bounces around. It's pretty good. Now, just setting this up at the base, you need lower 70, and you can see my tank here, lower skill 95. He could actually cast this spell, but it's actually fairly weak. It doesn't have any strength in it. And you've got these accents then to amplify it, and you can put in different strengths. So strength 4, you're up to 130 now, and that's going to be where your spellcasters are coming in. Having said that, though, the tank can create one for his own sword. He can make one of his own, and he can put that to strength 2, but at least it'll give him some extra power with his own weapon, and you can maybe put that on his bar if you want to do that. So you can assign it to him, and when he's in the world, hang on, go on yourself, of course. He's sword and shield, but yeah, he's actually got a shielded weapon. And on my mage here, I've got a couple of these that I can cast. So let's put lightning on the axe. There you go. So you can kind of amplify these up. The wizards can do it at the back because they're strong in lore and that, but it is quite fascinating, and that you can do spell creation down your own path, and when you create your own character, you can like focus on different kind of spells, but it is really good. I'll show you in combat, but the big ones are going to be the Scorching Missiles. Spell effects look really juicy, and then there's like a cone attack. That is really deadly. It's a good finisher actually. And Thunderstorm. Now you can see that both of them are quite concentrated in a little one, but in the actual spell creation of that, oopsie daisy. Yeah, if I look at that spell, it's absolutely, you have to put on it to focus it better, because it goes everywhere. It's so loosey-goosey, so you must have this in that spell. These other accents here though, you've got power, this one's going to be range, area of effect, duration of it if it sets them on fire or on a focused sword. This is so it bounces around, so my let's have a look here. Is that the first one, isn't it? Electric Jolt. Yeah, that'll jump around basically. Then you've got the accuracy, puts the accuracy up. This is better obviously if you're enchanting a weapon than a spell. And you've got the cooldown of the spell, armor penetration, and the interrupt. In here though, you have got different specialities where you can enchant it with even more to stun them, bleed them, mark them, spell surge, piercing, and if you look at the fist, for example, this has got killing blows, so if they're on low health, it will just do an intimate kill. And this is what I love about making this up. And if you get the all-in expansion, which takes you to a new area in the game, you will get like level 6 strength, so it's like the extra one on here to make your spells even bigger. So I love this crafting because it's not just for mages, but you can craft those spells for the melee types, and you can see they've got like their own little heal that they can do to themselves in an emergency. And at the minute, Titan's Touch, so that gives him Vitality and Might, his spell. And this guy has Polished Arms, so he does actually he has a spell for his own weapon which helps penetrate armor for him, which is fairly good as well. And my healer also does that, so he can put that on the big beast here, kills in shadow. Now if I look up here, yeah, the character sheet's really good. You can actually go and re-roll your character for free, which is good because you're going to be learning things as you do the game. It kind of feels like Skyrim, that when you do stuff, you'll learn it. So if my character here sees a trap and breaks the trap, she will actually get some subterfuge for that. But if you like, yeah, she's learning how to do subterfuge here, but when you re-roll, you can knock this down to 0 and then put it in stuff. So it's actually worth re-rolling because you're going to be picking up stuff, learning stuff that it doesn't really help your character, and throw them back into powering you up big time. If I hover over something like lore here, it will tell me lore is based on your wits and your resolve, but wits at 1.5 and resolve at 0.5. So wits with my character here is up at 29, and then as much as I could put into was wits. Where is wits? Where's the wits one? Wits one's in there somewhere. Anyway, you got to you balance it up anyway. That's what you got to do, and to get out your thing. And obviously your tank's going to be with two-handed weapons. This guy could definitely do with a re-roll and put that unarmed combat into his... He should be one-handed weapon, actually. I should re-roll this character just to throw it in there, because he's sword and shield, and he's not using two weapons. Yeah, so this is probably before I re-rolled them, actually. So it's fairly interesting how you've got to re-roll your character and balance it all out, and kind of unlearn things that aren't going to be useful for that setup. So that's another cool thing with it. Also, you have got these talents. When you level up, you'll get one of these to put into. And character-wise, each person has their own one that, you know, you can kind of customize them in here too. My mage has a bit of agility, magic, and leadership, heavy leadership, and all that good stuff. The journal is quite interesting because in the world itself, which will show you the map of the world, let's go bigger. You will be visiting all of these places, and what's interesting is every place you go to seems to be a little bit small, so you can actually go to one of these places and get it done within, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. They're fairly quick when you go there. You're going to be spending most of your time anyway reading quests and reading stuff that's going on in the world, and all this stuff is blanked out because I'd finished that story. We're kind of in late game here, and the expansions is up here at these locations. Now, because I picked the good campaign and I decided to become a rebellion, I couldn't even go to the Burning Library place here, so it might cut off content if you go down a certain path, and certain characters you won't die and things like that. So there's kind of interesting mechanics going on here. And I really wanted to go in here, but sadly I couldn't. But yeah. Now, combat is not turn-based at all. It is real-time, and you'll have to slow it down because it gets so chaotic. So let me jump to some combat and I'll show you how that works. Now, here we are on a map. The maps are beautifully coloured. And I'm actually underneath that. The maps do look wonderful, and they've got the grey effects on them. Like I said, they're small in nature, but I think they're more intensely done. Ooh. Now, something going to happen. Now, sometimes it is voice acted, but mainly not voice acted. You're going to have to read it yourself. Nothing has changed. This is the very storm that shattered the unbroken and disfavored alike. Thank you for bringing me here, Fatebinder. This guy hates me, by the way, because I'm part of Rebellion, but he's forced to stay with me. And you notice here, loyalty and fear. So, actually, getting on his wrong side will give him fear, and getting on his good side will give you loyalty. This will actually give you stuff, and I'll show you that in a minute. And you can keep up with like the politics. If you hear something for the first time, you can hover over it and get a tooltip, and you can, you know, bring that out to learn a little bit more about it, because it is like rich in story. And just get through this. This guy, talkie. We're not here for spoilers. Oopsie. It's going to be combat. Now, I've had to pause it. Firstly, priest, get your ass over there. Spellcaster myself over there. Let's rock. Now, these guys really don't like fire. So let's get down one for you. And healer. If you not got any... This is an old build, by the way. So it's... I've actually given my Lantry fire spells and lightning super spells. Because he could get them later on. But let's deal the pain. Now, Lantry at the back, he is on an AI. Where's the AI there? And he doesn't have to defend. I can just tell him to be aggressive and he'll go do his stuff then. But essentially, you can see my characters are learning from what they're doing here. That fire spell, she's learning a bit of fire. Let's put the lightning spell down on these. This is... Now this number 1 here was a touch spell, but I managed to put range on it. That should finish him because it's got a finishing spell on it. Actually went to the wrong person. That one! Come on! Immune to bleeding. Okay. Try that for size. What's going on? That spell's got a bleed, has it? This is why I kind of gave you some aggressive spells, because the healer's just sitting back here, not doing nada. So you'll have to control him if that happens. The Bane. Come on then. You handled the Bane well enough. What brings you to this forsaken place? I'm gathering a coalition to stand against Hitler. No, there. So I'm kind of becoming a little bit in favour of this faction. Now let me just show you the factions, how they work, as I go through these. So, bag-wise, there's no encumbrance per se. You've just got to make sure you've got space for it. There is some crafting in the game and stuff like that. It says you've got 1 attribute point here, but when you get stuff to 20, it costs 2. So I'm sitting around with that, and I want to put it in there. Now this is your reputation here, and once you get favour to 3, you get a passive, and if you get it all the way to 5, you get an active spell. These can be really strong. And same with Wrath, if you get really angry with them, you get a passive, and you get loads of these in the game. Loads of passives, loads of actives, depending on how you actually treat these, and some of them don't have it like this stuff, but most of them do. And it tells you your history down here of how you managed to do that. Some of this could be in the pre-story that you did, but this is another way to get interesting things. And with my main, I have talents from the talent tree, my spells that I've created, the reputation that I can activate. Oh, these are combinations that I've got reputation with the party here. So it would be me and one of the party members to do one of these. That one is me, and the tank will do a spell there. This one will be reputation that you've got level 5 with loyal or wrath. So you've got quite a lot that you can activate on your turn, and you are going to needing to pause it to get these on the go, which is fairly cool. And all that good stuff. So there's like lots of stuff you can do in combat because of that. And there's some stuff here on the floor, but most of it I don't want to pick it up. I've got a lot of, well, I ended up with a lot of money, and I didn't end up needing to spend it. So yeah, it was mainly on the crafting that I did stuff. Yeah, so again, all the areas you go to are kind of smallish like this. Don't take much to get around. Fighting is wonderful. and certainly meaty, but I'd say the game is maybe 30% combat, 30% walking around, and then a giant 40% talking and doing quests. So if you like lore, getting into the story, this game has it by a lot. But if you're waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 to get out of beta and into 1.0, then this should be on your radar, because it's definitely in the sense of a classic RPG. And I don't think Obsidian are going to do another classic RPG like this. I think they're going to go 3D, seeing as they were taken over by Microsoft. So we don't really have many of these 2D isometric games left. I should say though, when you walk around, you can sometimes with your perception notice items that are knocking about, but I've been here once before. So there is that. Let me show you something. Now let me go to Dawning Spire. Now if you install the expansion that you can get with like the all-in super whatever you get like events that are happening on the road. I made the mistake of actually not putting it on until I'd finished the game, and you should put it all in before you play it. Now here it's like a training hall, and if I look at the spire, you can see that I've recruited different trainers that can train me up in certain skills. Some of this stuff costs money to come in. I can only get 6 out of 6, but this is basically to train up very well. I can teleport to these that I've set up. Boom! Come on. Now in the spires, you'll be setting up different areas. This one is a giant forge. And in this forge, you've got all these kind of nice things that you can make. Now, stuff that says artifact on it, that means it'll have something really, really cool on it. This one has an Orb of Life, and I'll show you how that works. Where's my staff? That's just a normal staff. Because I've loaded this in at different parts of the game to show you stuff. And I should not got anything. Have I not got anything at this stage of the game? The Tempest. There we go. So Kills in Shadow has this beautiful double-handed sword, and it actually has this storm wheel that is an attack that can fire off. So if we go to Kills in Shadow, artifact abilities, and there you go. He's going to conjure storm clouds overhead, bombarding the area with lightning. Bolts of lightning damage foes in an area around the strike, and damage scales with Tempest's renown. That's really, really cool. You get one of them per rest, and the kind of mega spells. So collecting and crafting these things is going to be great. So these artifact stuff that you can get here are very, very good. Now, I've made this all in my late game, but some of it you can't make unless you've gone down the other path. And you'll find different recipes that you'll get here in the forge. And let's see, does he have anything for me? Oh, he does. He has a new staff that this character got, which is basically with an evocation of Khan on it. Alright, let's grab all that. Let's see what the... your power has increased. Should be in the bag. Where did it go? Simplicity is going out, and the Staff of Cairn. Did I pick it up? Oh, oi! Where'd that staff go? Where did it go? There it is. Why has he got it? Okay, reputation unlocked. So the Staff of Khan. An ally, so it buffs all my allies and gives everybody stuff for combat. That's fairly good. And petrifies enemies. So yeah, not too bad. And you can drag these to your bar if you want to. Like so. You can drag all them to your bar. I wish you could have it down here like in World of Warcraft where you can have everything just laid out. I hate coming in here in combat and dragging it. I'd love to just have a big stack of them like World of Warcraft has, but hey. And let me show you another place. This place over here is my Mage's Tower. When you get these towers, you're asked which ones to put in first. I would probably go with the Forge first. I actually went with this one first. And the artifacts are artifact weapons, so you probably want him to get going on some of them. They each take time, and you can see what each one's doing here when they're crafting and stuff like that. It is really good. These guys down here want to talk to me as well if their speech bubbles are looking a little bit white. What? Hmm. Kairos is Hitler in effect. So yeah, let's go to the map. So when you're going around the map doing quests and doing side quests, it actually feels really good as an adventure. You're getting reputation up to get you more skills. You're powering up your character, leveling up your team. It all feels fantastic as an RPG. It was heavily criticised at the time for having an ending which just falls flat on its face. But it feels a little bit like that. Yes, I guess, because especially the path I took. I mean, all this area was high resistance. And to me, I felt like it could do a bigger expansion where we actually take on the world. But that would need almost a sequel to do that, I think. But at least the expansion takes you up here to the Bastard City and opens up this section up here. Because it's got one incredible dungeon that you go in. It's full of scratch. You'll be scratching your head at some of the puzzles that are there. And yeah, let me just go there. I'll show you what it looks like. This place, it's going to be actually Lantry's story, the healer, when you come here as well. His storyline is based in the expansion, and that's going to be interesting to find. When you go into your bag, you've got this complete party stash down here, and this is basically all the quest-specific stuff you're picking up. And some of them might be specific rubbings that you're going to be doing to get those towers unlocked, which are going to be juicy to get. Dungeons are really nice. I think when you play the expansion in this place, one of the things that you're not going to be happy about is how slow you level up your character. In fact, through the whole expansion, you'll probably get one character level up. That's because I think 20, when you hit level 20, that is kind of the max you're going to get. But for example, this bridge wasn't here before. I had to activate it, and I had to put in this gem here. This Lazu torch key, you see, and then it would have brought up something to do this. I've fully unlocked it. When you come to this dungeon, though, you can actually do stuff with range, so I can actually touch this one here. Doesn't actually need that key, so I need to go and find that key in this dungeon. And it is very much kind of like a... what have I got to do here? But it is very big, this place. There's 3 levels to the dungeon, and it might take 3 hours in total to do it all. I mean, it's quite big. Definitely worth doing it, though. You get, like, level 6 power with your spells, and you get some more interesting stuff for your spells that you'll do. And it's like, this door here, not going to open without the specific key. These stairs aren't going to be created unless I've got all the keys in here. Not them keys. That bridge across there, you see. And if you look at the map here is they're so big compared to what you get in the base game. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Now, the other characters that you'll meet, you can get other mage people, you can get all sorts of complementary people that you'll find. They're all heroes with their own voice and their own reputation and things like this. So you might want to swap in a character to level with them just to get the reputation skills from them, and then swap them out again for your character and things like that. But I ended up, as you can see here, I ended up absolutely giving my mage... I keep pressing that button. I actually giving my mage the super spells, and if these are the level 4, so I'm still early on in this cave here. When you get the max level, it does feel juicy when you get it, and you're ripping stuff open then. And all that good stuff, and you can see now I've got, at this stage, 3 artifact items on my character, so giving me some really cool stuff. Look at that massive one there, extra defense for everybody. And because I've gone down leadership as well, I've got a lot of talents and things like that I can cast. They're really helpful. So yeah, all in all, it is really, really cool. I really did love it when I was playing it. I was playing it mostly through the night. So one of them that you want to stay up and do the quest kind of thing to see where it leads to. It's a solid one on your way to Baldur's Gate 3. I highly recommend it. I'd say it's probably a five-day game, or you might be playing it for a week before you see everything, if you take it nice and slow. And if the story grips you as well, you'll be definitely in there. I wouldn't be too concerned about the ending. I think it certainly gives you a tale about what you did in the world. All the places that I helped with the resistance, I got the story with, so it actually felt nice for me. I don't know if you go on the evil path, what that ending's like. That might be the one that flats on its face, but potentially we have created a massive part of the map that's fully resistant against the Empire, and to go on and attack him with the strength that I have now would be the goal if it ever goes into a sequel. But with Avowed coming out with Obsidian, which is going to be 3D based, that should be really special, and I don't think there's going to be many of these left, to be fair. So if you've not played Tyranny, I recommend you get it on your radar. And if you do get it, or if you have played it, do comment in the video, come back to the video, and let me know what you think. For me, it was super, super cool. Many choices you make have an impact on reputation and things like this, and your character starts to get well known in the area as well. So your main character does starts to get noticed in the world, shall we say, as the fate Baldur. Now, one last thing to notice is when you rest at your spires, you will have the amazing spire bonus, which is like gotta only rest when you go there, because it gives you so much buff, which actually makes a risk that you don't rest, because you'll notice my Kills in Shadow here, he's been hit so hard, he's on red here, he needs to rest. However, he's got a wound, you see, but I am not going to rest him until I finish this dungeon, so I'm kind of risking it for a biscuit here. And I like those kind of decisions that you're doing. And yeah, you can really get into the meat of the characters, and when it levels up, you'll love it that you can get attributes, you get a talent spot, and certainly if you've got a mage, or even if you've got a warrior, just getting that level up and increasing your lore to get that extra spell that you've got can be really satisfying. And yeah, but just be known that the story is highbrow, it's a bit of intelligence to follow along what's going on. And if you like that kind of aspect of an adult RPG, which I think you'll enjoy the story if you're over 30, for example. I don't think you might have the patience for it if you're a young 20-year-old, because you could be just firing through the text, and really the story's really deep and satisfying. Anyway, yes indeed, that has been Tyranny, a wonderful game. Highly, highly recommend it. Part of the classic RPGs that are on the PC, and one from the best, Obsidian. Surely it has your name written on it. So thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This has been PCGamer Radio. You stay safe, take care, and bye-bye for now. Well, thanks for watching. And if you remember, you can please subscribe and like the video. And don't remember, you can also hit the bell for notices on the channel. Yeah, we've also got a Twitter you can see on our banner, so check that out too. So take care and bye-bye.